Good Lord, what is happening in there?
What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over the top ways for you guys to spend all of your hard-earned cash AP Telvar during this event. Now you might be wondering to yourself, why do I want to spend it specifically during this event? And that is because all of the merchants are currently on sale. So you're able to get a discount not only when you go to the way shrines, but you're able to get that discount whenever you go to any merchant that is selling those items that I just listed to you. So let's talk about these merchants. We're going to be starting with the Telvar merchant. And before we jump into the Telvar merchant, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for the support on yesterday's video. I did not think that it would skyrocket as much as it did, so I really appreciate that. You guys have done, you guys are absolutely amazing. I set a like goal for 3 in that video. We've somewhat surpassed that, so I'm going to add. We're going to get real crazy here. We're going to, add an even higher goal or up it up even 25% more. So we're going to try to go for 4 likes on this video. And if you'd like to be entered in the giveaway, leave a comment on this video. But we are at the Telvar merchants to talk about the Telvar crystals. And that is because there is a really, really nice way for you guys to convert your Telvar crystals, and that is with the Hajaku runes. These are prism runes. You want to make sure that it is the prism runes that you see here, and it is not the ones that go on jewelry. Those are something completely different. You want the Hajaku runes, Hajoju runes. Why these are so good is that the Elder Scrolls Online has really been pushing this hybridization of builds concept. And so now it's not just werewolves that use these prism runes. For those of you who are unaware, a prism rune basically, instead of giving you mag, stam, or health, gives you mag, stam, and health, which means that you basically get a little bit of everything on your build. It's very popular for werewolves. However, it's also becoming very popular overall as, there's more of this emphasis on hybridization. And as a little side pickup back here, you can also get these waxed apothecary parcels. These are also very popular for people to pick up. You will obviously have to, you could sell raw ingredients. I always encourage people that it's best to always sell the most refined product as possible, which actually goes for Hajaku runes too, because on Xbox, this is going to be way higher on PC, so don't panic if you're a PC player. This sells for 12K. The Prism, if the Golden Glyph sells for 25. I just sold one earlier for 25. I have others listed. Akuda is worth 4K. So if you took Akuda that's worth 4K, combined it with something that's worth 12K, well, now you've got an even larger profit margin for yourself. So it's it's kind of like buying raw ingredients at a grocery store versus buying a pre-made pecan pie. I don't know how anyone can actually physically afford to make a pecan pie because the pecans themselves cost more than the pecan pie, so I never understood it. But anywho, that's going to be the easiest way for you guys to wrap up your Telvar crystals and convert them to gold. There are other sets over here that you guys could be interested in. However, I don't generally encourage you guys to gamble on those sets because the buy volume on those isn't as high as it is on things such as Prism Runes right now. So now we're going to go into my next favorite topic, which is alliance points. And with the power of editing, we are now in Cyrodiil. So I have made tons of videos for you guys on how to convert alliance points to gold. So you're probably like, why are you highlighting this again? And that's simply just because there's a lot of you guys new here. So the general heads and tails is that most people do not convert their alliance points to gold. And there's hundreds of ways to do it. And I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis on ways that you can do it. So starting off, you can see that my alliance is struggling slightly. But you can see that we got Fort Warden on lock. So that's what really counts. But each of these towns has sets that get sold by an elite vendor. Those elite vendor sets usually sell very well because most people don't want to go through the hassle of going all the way over to them and buying them. And most of the sets there, such as Deadly, Elfbane, Elysian, are very popular. But we're also going to talk a little bit too about some of the sets and things that are sold here and at the actual Battlegrounds merchant. So say you're over here, and this is where I think a lot of people sleep on, this area, is that there's a whole regional equipment vendor that is now on sale. So for 4,500 AP, which is nothing, you can gamble on pretty much any base game overland set, which means that For example, if Mother Sorrow or Plague Doctors was selling very well on your server, because again, some of you guys will ask like, what should I buy? And the question I always give them is like, well, what's selling on your server and what is there a general lack of? So if you notice that no one's selling Mother Sorrow, now Mother Sorrow is a little bit on the outs with some of the newer crafting sets, but if it's still being bought, there's not a lot of it, and you could buy these for 4,500, and then one of every third item is going to give you a Mother's Sorrow item, mathematically. But we also have the ability to get some new unique sets, such as like the Stygian set, which I notice has been rising in popularity due to Nightblade's overall usage, and this is the ability to be combined with other sets. I also think that Bankerai has some really good items because it's got 7th Legion and Spriggans, both of which are really decent sets to sell. And then some other shouts are, Malbator I think is really good for spinners. Necropotence from Rivenspire is really good. But this is basically like, if you're like, man, this set is selling like fire and it's not being sold, and you're like, hey, I just want to convert some of my AP into this is a great way to do it. The only downside is it's going to come out blue majority of the time, which means that if you get jewelry, it's going to be blue and not purple. But let's talk a little bit about some of these merchants too. So these have basically the ability to give you different types of sets. And I always say that there's some good sets here also. I think that Vicious Death, in addition to things such as like, the Robes of Transmutation, are both really good items, especially because most people do not sell Vicious Death armor. While some people will wear it, it's very rarely listed on Xbox NA. So that's a really good shout for you guys to get. And also, because this is during a crafting event where people are crafting like madmen, I've noticed that triune crystals are going up mathematically, which is Dawn Prisms. That's how you make your triune jewelry. And I've also noticed that, Alliance spell pots are consistently selling well also. So those are some good shouts for you guys. I have 2 whole videos that are really in-depth breakdowns on how to sell your AP, so I'm not going to go into too much more detail. So now we're going to go into probably the easier part of this video, and that's going over the Golden Merchant. So in general too, with the actual gold merchants that you can purchase from, the actual golden vendor herself is going to be at a discount. You may have wondered why everything seems like it's at an obtuse price. We've already had a whole video breaking down this week's golden vendor. There's nothing here that's exceptionally phenomenal except maybe the furnishing vendor, but I'm not going to rehash that video. There is some decent support sets here. Like I know that you guys had mentioned that the Worm set was really popular. I just don't, support sets to me don't have to be golded out for jewelry. But again, this is a nice, time to buy if you're going to get things from the golden vendor. However, I just overall do not suggest it. But there is some suggestions on places that I do think that you guys should go. You may be wondering why we are at the blacksmith in Glenumbra, but this will work for any blacksmith. And that's just because I want to talk to you guys about something that you may not be aware of. And that is these style materials can be purchased from these vendors. A lot of people actually do not know this. Myself included, 2 years ago, I bought a full stack of, I believe it was it Corrodium, because I needed it to build furnishings, only to realize that you can just buy it cheaper from vendors. I actually had ended up spending 60 per, and then you could have bought it here, for significantly cheaper. But right now it's on even a higher discount. So this is also my way, just kind of let you guys know, because things like Corrodium, Obsidian, Nickel, they're used quite heavily inside of like actual furnishing crafting material. So this is a great time for you guys to pick up these if you're a furnisher crafter and just hold on to a couple hundred of each stack. And then finally to the luxury vendor. So this guy is going to be here on the weekends. We've again talked about him briefly, but just for those of you who missed that video, a lot of this stuff here is going to be really good because this is going to resell later for a lot more gold because these are very, very popular items. But in addition to this, I also wanted to kind of give a shout out to the houses, which are also on sale. Most people think that houses that you don't currently own are worthless. And to that I would say, don't sleep on the houses too much because, houses act as a free way shrine point. So basically, if you go and you buy a house, you have the ability to travel to the outside of it for a reduced fee. Most people really sleep on how much they spend going to, to way shrines. Now, obviously, it's at a discount right now, and this isn't the most imperative thing for you to do. You could also say to yourself, well, I've always wanted this house. Now it's on sale. maybe this will be the time now that I get it. This is a really nice example. This is a really cool house. This is one of the more expensive ones, obviously. But if you were to purchase this house, you'd have a free ray shrine. Now let me show you what that looks like, because I own the one inside of Mournhold. I can travel to the inside or the outside. So I basically have a really nice fast travel point where I can immediately go to Deshawn. That house, I think, was only about 40,000 gold. So that's where I think that it could be really beneficial for you guys to invest in houses, especially if you're like, man, I really want this house already. Or I find myself going to this city all the freaking time because I love it. I love the daily quests here. I love using the guild traders. I find deals at them. It's going to be a great way to do it. But the biggest point is that there's really no downside to buying these items now with your AP, with your Telvar, with your gold, because you're going to get a discount. So anything that you resell later, you're going to get a 10% bonus to you for it. Like, that's a 10% extra gold that you're going to be getting because you saved 10%. So you'll be able to buy 10% more inventory, for yourself as a trader and someone who focuses specifically on, the trading aspect of ESO mostly, in addition to, other things. This is where I look at this event and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was trying to look online to see if other people were talking about this, and nobody was talking about this. And one of you guys suggested it and said, hey, nobody's really talking about this. Can you talk about it? So this is my kind of 2 cents on that for you guys. But that's going to wrap up the video. My daily question for you guys is do you have any fun 4th of July plans? You can comment just simply yes or no. You can elaborate. You could say, oh, I'm doing this, that, or the other. I will be going to see my family here in a couple hours. Hopefully after I edit this video, although I might do it there. And then, I'm going to have a pecan pie and watch fireworks and then come back home. That's my crazy plans. My biggest plan, though, is I don't have to go to work tomorrow, which is absolutely amazing. That's the best holiday that the government could ever give me. So that's really what I'm looking forward to most from the 4th of July. So let me know what you guys are doing, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.